you. Sorry, we're getting the show going right now. Oh, we're rolling. Cool.
All right, this is how we start.
Yeah, Anthony.
Okay.
Anthony doesn't give me any heads up.
Okay.
We start talking, and then I notice a little red ticker in the corner of the screen.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's going.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're 17, 18
pressure.
seconds in now.
Oh, okay. Are you guys entertained yet, or are they?
I feel like we're already making podcast history
Okay. Yes,
right now.
absolutely.
I have a lot of energy.
Yeah, especially thanks to this Nitro
Caveman coffee.
Caveman coffee.
We're not sponsored by these guys, but I will say that my heart rate is 473 BPM right now.
I'm awake now.
Oh, yeah, that's good. It tastes like, honestly, it tastes like a coyote pissed in a can.
It's spicy stuff.
It's spicy, but it does get you going. Wow.
Yeah.
Smells good in here, huh?
Yeah, the ambiance is really nice.
It does.
Yeah, I feel relaxed. Like
nice little ambiance. Oh yeah, I got to do that thing.
Yeah, you got to introduce me, right?
Major Waves podcast. What's up, guys? We're back for another episode. Yeah, I'm gonna introduce you. I'll introduce you. Don't worry. We'll bring you in. Today, I'm excited, as you guys can see in the live stream, and if you're watching this right now on YouTube, we've got a superstar in the realm. Of you call yourself
I call myself entertainer, actor.
No, you don't. That's not what you call yourself in your skits.
Oh, my skit. Oh, Instagram cop. Or?
Instagram god.
Oh yeah, I am Instagram god. I guess I was trying to be kind of
Don't be humble,
key.
bro.
I was trying to be humble on the show. I don't want people to think I'm a dick.
No, it's called Major Waves, not sort of cool.
Gotcha.
Sort of waves.
So I am a god among men.
He's Jacob Berger, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on, Kevin. I appreciate it.
I'm excited to have you on, man.
Absolutely.
It's not every day that I get to have a fellow East Coaster on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from Detroit. It's not really a coaster, but
just two older white dudes sitting down to a convo. Yeah.
Just two guys that used to have white privilege.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now we don't, because it's not a thing anymore. Remember when we had white privilege? That was cool, huh?
I think that thing still exists.
I don't know.
That's a comment for another day. That's a comment for another day.
I don't know, man. I don't feel like I have the same privileges I used to have at all.
Oh, well, as far as yourself goes in your personal life.
No, white people in general. I just don't feel like. I feel like it's so uncool to be white now.
No, I don't agree with
You don't
that.
think so?
Nah.
I feel like it used to be a lot cooler to be white. Now you're just kind of like everybody thinks you're a dick.
No, I speak out for people, and white privilege is a real thing to me. So.
You still speak out to you.
I speak out for people who are marginalized and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
Institutionalized racism and things like that.
I do as
Kind
well.
of heavy topic to jump in as our first.
I mean, that's what we
first
do,
topic
man.
here. It's kind of heavy.
We're not scared to talk about anything here. We should probably, before we jump into this, let's going back to how good it smells in here. Hey, Anthony, have you noticed how good it smells in here?
I have.
Yeah, and do you know why that is?
I think I do.
It's because we're sponsored by Damn Good Candle Company.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Damn Good Candle Company, who just released the signature Kevin Mack smell, Mac and Sheets. Damn Good Candle Company. Listen, if you like candles, you like candles?
I love candles.
Candles
Give
are
me
great.
one. Yeah, give me one.
I'm going to give you one of my candles. Hey,
Let's
I'll
go
tell you
back.
what. Great thing about candles, they make your room smell good. And if you're freaky, you can drip them on a hoe. That's what my candle's for. If you want your girl to smell like Kevin Mack, go right now to damngoodcandlecompany.com.
Wait. The candle actually smells like you?
Smells like me. Yeah. It's
Actually,
my
I think I'm
signature
good on
scent.
that candle. You can keep it. I'm good on that.
Bro, do you know?
I mean, I don't want to smell another man in my room. Like, that's not how I roll. Like,
I mean, but let's be honest. My pheromones get the ladies going, so.
That is true. I guess I could use a little bit of that. Yeah.
Get a little extra pheromone in the room.
Get them going, yeah.
Also, another thing that also smells good, Anthony, I don't know if you're aware of this, Jacob, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we are sponsored by LA Speedweed.
Oh.
Best smelling weed in the game.
Do you have some for me?
I do.
Oh, awesome.
I do. We can't smoke it in studio.
Oh, okay. I'll smoke it outside.
Yeah, but I'll give you some gas. That's what
Gas,
the kids
what I
call
smoke.
It. That's
Of
what the
course.
kids call it
Yeah,
these
the
days.
gas.
Gas.
Yeah.
Sponsored by, we're sponsored by LA Speedweed, the speediest weed in LA Speedweed, and Better Box. Better Box TV, the home of Better Box, is where we record from. So check them out, Better Box TV on Instagram, and give them a follow. All right, that's it for the reads. We've gotten through them. Back to white privilege.
Well, for me, it's like a big portion of my audience is sort of Black and Latino and stuff like that. And one of the reasons why I think they support me so much is because I do see things from their perspective, and I do like acknowledge my white privilege, and I do sort of address racial issues that are tough to sort of bring up, and that's why I make jokes that I think other white people couldn't necessarily get away with or something like that,
Right.
because they give me a certain level of, they see that I sort of understand their struggle, and that I make content that speaks to that.
And where did that come from? I mean, I know you're from New York. Was that?
I guess I was sort of raised with both my parents were social workers, so I was kind of raised in a social justice household where I was sort of raised with those types of values, to be empathetic and to put yourself in other people's shoes and to help those less fortunate. So that's actually what I did when I first, went into college and went to graduate school, and I worked as a social worker, treating people with in like outpatient settings, and then eventually I got laid off and started Craigslist hustling, and then I found acting, and fast forward 9 years later, I'm sitting here doing Major Waves podcast.
How long have you been in LA now?
I've been here since October 2018. So
you're relatively new.
A year and and some changes. It's been great. I've loved the move. It was the right decision to move out here. The energy's really good, and if you're in show business, eventually you have to. All roads lead to LA is what I tell people. So
so how old were you when you moved here then?
So it's a year, and so I was 33.
So you just kind of, was acting something you wanted to do, or was it something you just kind of fell into?
Well, I did like theater as a kid, so I always had that, and I was always like the class clown growing up. So I was always sort of like performing and being the center of attention, I guess, as you would call it.
Right.
And when I got laid off from my job back in December 2011, I started doing Craigslist hustling, which is like finding little jobs and gigs to do on Craigslist. And one of the gigs I first started doing was a party MC for kids' birthday parties. So like an 8-year-old princess party, and I'm DJing in the club. Like we got like motivational dancers, and I'm hyping it up like, put your hands up. What? Put your hands up. Who fucking tonight? Who fucking tonight? No, the last part, no. But that got me into the habit of performing every weekend, and then I started doing little like acting stuff here and there. I got cast in my first. Have you ever done one of those like murder porn type thing? The Discovery ID, the reenactment shows.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They call it murder porn because it's like that's what people because they get so addicted to watching these murder things.
Yeah,
so
I did one of those.
I remember it was my first TV gig, and I was like a strip club DJ who has a love triangle with a stripper, and she gets me to kill her husband. And I remember I'm like making out with this super hot girl. It's my first on camera gig. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm going into acting. I'm not going back to social work. So then, like a few months later, I joined the union and just started, grinding, going to acting schools, and just putting in the work, building the resume. And then within a few years, I started getting auditions for major TV and film, and started booking in 2014. And then 2017 was my big breakout moment with my viral videos, and it's been a blessing ever since. Just keep getting bigger and bigger.
The first thing I was ever on TV was a show. I don't know if you remember it, called 1,000 Ways to Die. Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
So that was my first experience on TV.
So you died.
Yeah, I died. Mine was, I was trying to impress a girl, and I wanted to make her escargot, and I just got snails from my garden, and I didn't cook them, and then we got brain worms. We died.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like a cool ass stunt or something like that.
No, it was it kind of sucked, but it was kind of funny because they let me literally do whatever I wanted. Like they found out that I was funny within the first like hour on set because I was just throwing. It was all improv, so I was just throwing lines out. And then by the time that we were in the hospital dying in the scene, they were like, Kevin, just throw out anything. And one of the things I threw out was like, the girl was flat chested, the girl they had on the show. And I'm like laying in the bed, and we're supposed to be bickering back and forth at each other. She's like, you killed me. This is your fault.
Improv. It's there's no recording.
Yeah, there's no script, whatever.
Yeah. And
so one of my lines, one of the lines I came up with was like, she said, I just want you to know before you die that I had sex with your brother. And then I just came up with, well, I want you to know before you die that I'm gay, and the only reason I dated you is because you have the chest of a 12-year-old boy.
Did she start laughing?
She was cracking up, and everybody in the room started cracking up. And in that moment, I was like, fuck, this is the line they're gonna use. And for like 2 years, everybody that saw me like, dude, so you're gay? I'm just like, fuck, no, it's not real. It's TV.
Yeah, the people are very literal in their sense. Same thing with like sketches too. Like when I play a character, like they have a hard time distinguishing between Jacob Berger, the person, and Jacob Berger, the actor, you know.
People legitimately think you're a cop.
Oh yeah, all the time. I still have people to this day message me or come up to me, are you really a cop? Da, da, da.
I think I said that when I met you.
Yeah,
I was like, you were a cop before, right?
No, I've never been a police officer. I just, I actually, story behind getting the uniform was when I first joined the union. My friends were like, oh, you know, be a extra, like buy a uniform, and be a extra, like you'll earn a good living, you'll learn the ropes, and you'll get work like multiple times a week because there's so many cop dramas that shoot in New York.
Right.
So I ended up being core on core. For those of you who aren't in show, is like the core group of extras that are like maybe for the precinct, they always call on them, so it's the same faces. So that was like 2 to 3 days a week, and so I had the uniform, and then I started making content with it, and I guess I just really embody the energy of a police officer that people really bought it hook, line, and sinker.
You just have that New York cop look. You look like a New York cop.
Yeah, it's that New York cop energy. I'm very New York in the way my accent, I think. You know, some people tell me they don't hear it, but I'm like, really? Like, I sound...
No, I can definitely hear it. What part of New York are you from?
From the Bronx.
Okay.
Yeah, from the Bronx, uptown.
Nice.
Born and raised. You know, I lived in Manhattan for the last like 6 years before I moved out here to LA, which was great.
You had Manhattan money? How did that happen?
Well, I got super lucky. My first experience, I was renting a room for my friend's Dominican grandmother who didn't speak English in Washington Heights, and it was only like $800 a month. And it was great because she'd let me smoke weed, have girls over, like do whatever, and she cooked me food, like "¿A como comida?" Like, you know, it was great. I loved it. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. And then I got super lucky. This guy was subleasing. He subleased me his studio in this building called the Prince George Hotel, which is like, it's a weird place to live because half the building is people who are working poor, so like making under 20,000 or something like that, and then the other half is like people who are mentally ill or just coming home from prison or like ACS cases. Like it's because they're single room occupied. Well, that's the type of people that are there. So it's a very weird place to live. But it was only $800 a month to live there on 28th Street between 5th and Madison. So like that made life so easy being in Central right there. I could go collab with people all over the borough. And
you know what's crazy is like for you and I who I've lived in New York as well. So
what part did you used to live in?
I lived in Greenwich Village. So for people like you,
that Greenwich Village money, huh?
Yeah, I had that Greenwich Village money. Yeah. There's that off Broadway money, but. For people like you and I, like you lived in New York and LA, I've lived in New York and LA, to say like it was only $800 a month. Most of the people in the rest of the country are like, yo, you were renting a room for $800 a month?
Yeah, a 3-bedroom house.
Yeah, I could have a 4-bedroom house in Michigan.
Yeah, to give context to that, normally for a studio apartment where I was living would be like $3,500. So in fact, I get $800.
Dude, New York is crazier than LA when it comes to like rent and mortgages. It's insane.
Right. And I wonder what's going to happen now that, you know, New York, sort of the COVID thing's happening and like people don't want to be on top of each other. Like, you know, I wonder if there's going to be a mass exodus from Manhattan or whatever.
Have you been to New York since this whole thing happened?
No, I have not. But I have lots of friends and family back home. You know, I hope they're all doing okay and getting through this.
Have you had anybody that you know of that's had COVID or experienced it?
Yeah, I know a few people who had it. I know like through some people who passed away and stuff. You know, it's a wholly different energy down in New York compared to how it is here in LA. You know?
Yeah, because I think in LA, I think we have something like, what is it, Anthony? Like 6,000 deaths total.
No, we got
in California.
Yeah, well, just in LA County, which is like 10.5 million. It's only like 1,800 people who passed.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's like a little over 6,000 for the state, and then New York, I think it's somewhere around like 30 or something.
Yeah, but who even knows like how they're reporting stuff? Like,
that's true.
You know, I mean, I've seen stuff like people posting about like, oh my so and so had a heart attack and they listed it as COVID death. You know,
3,000 in California. That's it. Wow. I thought it was a little higher.
Don't
than
say
that.
that's it. Wow, because
I
you're,
mean,
you're
look,
framed as a
man.
heartless bastard. Like,
I mean, I am a heartless bastard.
I know you are.
I already. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Good, you're a good friend, Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what friends are for. Call each other's bullshit out.
You're a heartless bastard, you piece of shit. So happy to do your podcast.
It's a good quality to have in show business. You gotta be heartless sometimes.
I mean, 3,000. If you think about it, if you do the math, 3,000 people. There's what, like 30 million people in California or something like that. Something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's a big number.
Yeah. So I think we're doing all right.
It's different. I mean, I hope things start to change. I hope people start to move back to some type of normalcy. But like I used to be a social worker. Like people are gonna be traumatized by this for years. I feel like it's gonna be very hard for a lot of people. It's like some people aren't as strong-willed and strong-minded to be able to get over something like this. Like a lot of people are going to be traumatized for years, and they're not going to feel comfortable doing anything that's kind of public.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We were talking about this in the car, and I was saying I kind of feel like people during these types of situations. Obviously, we've never had anything really to this scale, but in past situations that changed kind of the way that we went on about our daily lives, like 9/11 and things like that. I feel like people kind of fell in line or accepted the change in their daily life or their daily routine right on the heels of these things that happened, like for instance 9/11, when it was 3 or 4 hour wait in security to get on a plane, and people were like, well, as long as it's safe, and I'll go to the airport early, I understand. And then 6 months later, people are like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I need to get on a plane.
Yeah. Well, hopefully things doesn't fall apart. I mean, because I have several friends who already lost their businesses. They've had to file for bankruptcy or had to just close up shop because they can't afford it. I feel like it's going to be the same way with this. I feel like it's on the heels of this. People are going to be a little bit looser with their freedoms or with safety measures and things like that. But it's also like
I feel like 6 months later, though, it's kind of they're going to start falling into their old routine.
Well, we're going to have to see, because it's like also like what happens. Say like people are back in their workplace and someone tests positive for COVID. What happens then? Like for example, my friends. They're in one of the sort of unions, for making stuff, construction or whatever like that. And basically what they told me is like, some type of thing like that. And basically if one employee on the job gets COVID, then everyone's sent home for 2 weeks to quarantine, fully paid by the company and part of the PPP, whatever money the government set for. But I'm like, that can't last forever. We can't have that type of, imagine a whole building and then one person on the floor tests positive. They're going to shut everything down for that 2 week.
I mean, this is the only time in human history that we have ever quarantined healthy people. Typically in the past, you quarantine the old or the sick or the people with immune deficiencies. You don't quarantine everyone.
Right.
So I feel like the issue is and we've talked about this on the podcast already, but countries like Sweden, they already have herd immunity, and because when this happened, instead of quarantining everyone, they quarantined the old and the immune deficient, and the people who were healthy, they got it. It ran through the population, and now they have herd immunity. I feel like that's something that we should have done. We should have done something closer to that here. It's a little too late for that. now.
The bulls out the gate.
Yeah, but the issue is we're dealing with numbers that are far less than we expected, which thank God for that. Thank God that it wasn't what they were thinking that it could be. But now we're having to wonder, what are the ramifications going to be, as far as are we going to see, is it going to be more detrimental to our society to have handled it the way we did, or the numbers that may have happened if we would have handled it another way?
Yeah, I mean, time will tell. I guess we'll have this conversation again. You keep having this conversation, but it's kind of scary. I think once the unemployment dries up and more businesses start to go out of business, I think the reality is going to start to hit people.
Yeah, I think I have a friend who owns a restaurant.
Yeah,
and he's like, dude, there's no way that I can keep my business up for another 3 months like this. and he knows a lot of restaurant owners and business owners that are having the same experiences. And he's making this is one thing that I thought was really interesting. He's making more on crafted cocktails to go than he's making on food, which I personally think is crazy.
Right.
Because you're paying $13 for a drink, for a mixed drink.
Yeah.
Like you would be if you were in an establishment, and you have to pay those prices because you're there.
Right.
And you're enjoying the ambiance with friends or what have you. But to pay $13 for one drink that I'm going to drink at my house seems insane to me.
A lot of people though back in New York, like this weekend on Saturday, it was 85 degrees. So my friends told me people were at the bars, but they would just, you'd buy the drink inside and then you go outside and everyone would just hang out on the patio and like, like I'm just like, they don't give, like no one cares. Like,
well, you go to Newport Beach or down in OC, especially this weekend. I went to Santa Monica this past weekend and it was packed, man.
Oh yeah, I went packed. Yeah. We going to the casino this weekend? They're opening the India casinos.
That's what I heard.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the new dividers and everything. All
yeah,
that
they got like glass windows and shit.
Yeah, it's funny. They're like, oh, we closed down but like we're Indian res, so like we don't have to follow U.S. law. So like fuck y'all. Like we're just gonna open up. Like we
they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, they do whatever they want. Like I guess they deserve. They
fuck yeah, they deserve it. Yeah. I'm Native American. I give it a total thumbs up.
Are you? You're 132th.
No,
Cherokee?
Bro. Listen.
164th.
All right, bro. Relax. All right, relax.
So
I am actual Native American. My grandmother grew up on a reservation. My great grandmother was an Indian shaman. My mother grew up half of her life on a reservation. My family is like native.
You're basically Native American,
bro.
You're not a white guy.
I own a bow and arrow. All right, I own one.
Gotcha.
Just saying. You know, I don't.
I want to smoke the peace pipe after this.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I have it.
Gotcha.
Just keep that in mind.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm all for it. I've actually given serious thought to moving to Vegas for a couple months since they extended the stay-at-home order for.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens in Vegas, honestly. Like, because I know people are itching to go back. Like, it's just gonna be.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's gonna hurt their bottom line as far as you can't. I heard you can only have 3 people at a table.
Blackjack tables are 3 people.
Every other machine is out or whatever.
But I don't understand how that works because you've got to touch the chips,
right?
To bet.
I don't get that either. Like,
so. You're shuffling chips between people constantly. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense at all, honest. Unless they make you wear gloves at the table or something like that.
And even then, it doesn't matter because I love that people think that gloves make any kind of difference.
Right.
Because you put on gloves, then you touch things. Now there's germs on your gloves.
Well,
then you touch other things, and there's germs on.
Well, maybe they'll do some type of like computer system thing, like kind of like at the poker table how they enter in like your maybe they'll do something where you have a thing and you have to put money in, like, to
Do you know how
deposit.
long it would take to get that kind of technology on every table, though?
Oh, it would take long, but that might be what it has to move to in order so there's no actual physical touching of anything. Like,
bro, just listen. If you're at a casino, you're typically
already risking your life. You're risking your life.
Anyway. Yeah, just
exactly.
These are like this is the lowest common denominator of people you're dealing with. So just be if you lose a few, it's like, well, we could have lost worse. Like.
I mean, I'm itching to go back to Vegas. I can't wait. I can't wait. Vegas trip is. I'm
gonna go there just to do stand up because there's all the clubs in California.
Are they gonna have people though? Like, is the rooms gonna fill, or they fill it up halfway? Like, what are they gonna do?
Apparently, they're gonna do half capacity and space the tables out. One of the things that people are talking about them doing is VR stand up, and I fucking refuse. Anthony, have you heard about this?
I've heard a couple of things.
So how would that
They've
work?
been trying to set up a lot of digital shows.
So apparently, you sign up with this whatever VR company it is,
right.
and you'll have a comic who's performing stand up into a VR camera, and then you can watch it.
So you feel
and
like
it
sitting right there.
VR's 360, so like you're watching this stand up do comedy, and you can look around as if you're actually in the room.
Right.
But for the comic, that's horrifyingly shitty.
Yeah, because you feed
I
off
can't
the
hear
energy.
you laughing.
Yeah, you feed off the energy in the room. Like it's weird to have jokes and you hear no laughter. Like,
yeah, it's super weird, man. I refuse to.
Yeah, I'm worried about like the future of show business, what it's going to look like, how it's going to work. It's very hard to picture what this
Well, apparently movie theaters are going to become a thing of the past, is what I'm hearing.
You think that's not ever going to... I love going to the movies. That's like one of my like guilty pleasures. I'll go by myself to the movies all the time just to sit in the theater and like, it's different, that experience watching on a big screen compared to being at home.
Eating popcorn and
I heard Amazon is about to buy AMC or something is what they were talking about.
That's the word. Yeah, they were saying AMC is actually filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, okay.
And there's a couple other movie theaters that are kind of following suit.
And all that.
But right now, what Amazon is doing is they're taking all of the theaters that are supposed to be, or taking all the movies that are supposed to be in theaters right now, and they're doing on demand. Like you can rent or purchase the movie on Amazon.
Well, that's why AMC and Universal had a big beef, is because Universal put out the Trolls movie and it made more money actually than being in theaters. And and I guess there's some unwritten verbal contract between AMC and the studios that they get 90-day exclusivity before they release any digital kind of release. So AMC's said, fuck y'all, Universal. We're not showing any of your movies in our theaters. But.
Yeah, I mean, I think this thing is going to change the entertainment industry big time. I don't know, man. A lot of what I'm hearing from people that I know in the industry, a lot of people are saying that drive-in movie theaters are going to.
I want to go. Is there one in LA? Or
yeah, there's one. I think it's like out. I think it's out in like Bakersfield area.
Yeah, I googled it, but it was like older movies. Like it wasn't even like recent movies they were.
Yeah,
but that seems like a cool thing. I want to do that.
Have you ever been to a drive-in?
No, I've never been to a drive-in.
Drive-ins are so much fun,
especially if you're a girl. I imagine. Like,
dude, yeah, you can get a blowjob and you don't have to worry about like some guy watching you.
Nah, it sounds awesome. Man.
Unless it's in the car next to you.
Right.
But then he's probably getting a blowjob too. So
it's just they have a blowjob section, like park your car.
Yeah,
it's gonna be blowing
we should start a drive-in movie theater. You got good ideas.
Yeah, I'm full of good ideas.
Yeah, you can only park in this section if you have tinted windows.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the get down. Like we're not really here for the movie. We're just like
just a bunch of dudes looking at each other, giving air high fives.
Yeah. So instead of Netflix and chill, it's drive-in and pile-in. I don't know, something like that. Drive-in and pile-in.
Drive and jive.
Like pile-in or,
roll and blow.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. So that would be cool, but.
Wheel and squeal.
Yeah, wheel and squeal.
Wheel and squeal. That's not bad. Yeah, dude, I've been to drive. I used to, when I was a kid, we used to go to the drive-in all the time, and it was cool because.
I forgot you grew up in the 50s. I forgot about that.
Wow, dude. Such disrespect, huh? Dude, you're like 6 years younger than me.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. I know.
You're 6 years younger than me, and you look 42 years older.
I do look older than you. I do, honestly. That's why I'm a little bitter. That's why I did throw in that joke.
It's all right, dude. Hey, listen. The only thing receding faster than my memory is your
my
hairline.
Yeah. I always say I don't got a forehead. I got a 5 head. Because
you got a bit of a dome, dude.
Yeah, I've always had the high widow's peaks.
Yeah, you don't have dreams. You have theaters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it all airs right there. Projector screen.
So, like, what got you into wanting to do social commentary in your social media stuff? Because a lot of people won't touch it, especially nowadays.
Right.
Because you take some serious risks, dude. Like you did one. Actually, you posted one today.
Yeah.
Dressed as a cop.
Right.
Throwing up gang signs.
Right.
And then the other guy's throwing gang signs at you.
Yeah.
And you were like crip walking and shit.
Yeah. Right.
And then he showed a gun, and you were like, "You got this."
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I get what you were saying. Like cops are a gang.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But a lot of the audience in social media wouldn't get it because they're younger. So
some people don't get it. Like some people, but it's fine.
What is it that makes you want to do social commentary in your?
I think I just it does really well as far as engagement goes. I like to explore topics that are kind of not taboo, but just hard to explore.
Yeah.
I get a lot of recognition from people. They're like, "Yo, like I'm glad you did this piece of content. It needs to be said." Like I said, I'm not scared to lean into sort of race-based like content where I'm making a commentary about some type of messed up thing or social injustice. Like, there's always comedy to be found even in the darkest of situations. I think that's why like Jewish people in general, like we've always found, even through the Holocaust and things like that, we always kept our sense of humor because you have to find the humor in any situation. Sometimes humor is the best way to deliver a message, a real message to people, to make people think. Yeah.
Well, Jews also run entertainment.
Yes,
so.
we do. We've been keeping our eye on
don't say we.
We.
We don't say we though,
We.
because you're not
I'm not
running it.
Well, not
You're in
obvious.
it,
I'm
like,
in
you're
it.
in
You know,
it.
I can make a call. Like, you know,
Just because you look like Harvey Weinstein
I know.
doesn't make you Harvey Weinstein.
I got my Jew gold around my neck.
Bro,
know?
you should do a Harvey Weinstein skit.
God, people comment. That's usually the kind of, oh, who's this fat Harvey Weinstein fucking like doing videos with fucking 20-something-year-old women. You know,
That's a good point, man. Do you think a lot of your what's the term I should use here,
Haters?
Anthony? No, do you think a lot of your minority following comes from the thick ass women you put in your skits?
somewhat. I mean, I got a lot of my following thanks to World Star Hip Hop. They would repost a lot of my content.
Yeah. You use
so-
some
so-
thicky thicks.
Yeah, I
bro.
love the thick women. I love a big old booty. Like, you know, there's nothing better. And they come to me now that I got the check mark and the clout and everything.
It was
So-
funny. We shot skits the other day,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Yeah, I got some girls coming." Those were the skinniest girls you've ever worked with.
Oh, they were
weren't
super skinny. I was like, "What is this?" I'm like, "This is like I don't know if it's gonna work." Like, I was expecting some like, you know, not that they're beautiful, gorgeous girls, but they're just definitely the thinnest I ever.
No curves at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, yeah, exactly. Well, no, they have some curves.
They look like they were 14.
Yeah, they look really young.
It was probably not your
Yeah.
your demographic.
Oh, I like but I like the thick ones for sure.
You do
know,
like the
I like
thick
I
ones.
like big booties.
See, you and I have very different tastes in women because I like petite, fit, thin girls, and you like the thick.
Yeah, I want
Thicky
I want tiger stripes on that booty, like bullet holes, like whatever. Like
Bullet holes?
I just want to feel engulfed in that booty. Like I just want to.
Dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, you showed me a skit the other day where you had this girl that was like in a black dress.
Yeah,
What's her name?
Nakia.
Yeah, you this girl in the black dress, and there were parts in the video where you kind of disappeared. I couldn't see you. It was just your head.
Oh.
And then I looked up her Insta because you were like you showed
Someone
me
put
this
a bag
video.
on her head.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You put a bag over her head,
Yeah.
and then I looked her up on Instagram. She's got so many followers,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, yeah, this ain't me. I'm not this. This is not my.
I live in the world of thick women. That's
Have
what
you always been that way?
Yeah, I guess being from New York, you know, I always sort of been attracted to women that have a nice curve. You know, I'm from the land of Dominican women, especially, you know, Dominican. I don't know. Well, you live in New York. So
Yeah, I
we
know
don't really
about
have Dominican women out here like we did in New York. But yeah, I've always been attracted to the more thicker, voluptuous women for sure.
Have you always do you date white girls?
Yeah,
Have you been to white girls?
I've dated across the racial spectrum.
You
know.
dated Dominican girls?
Yeah, I dated all kinds of.
How many knives have you had pulled on you?
None, luckily. Usually, I get away quickly. You know.
I've had knives pulled on me,
Oh man.
not by Dominican women.
Gotcha.
I
usually
Filipino women.
Filipino women are fire.
They will cut you, bro.
Yeah.
They will
Yeah,
cut you
they're,
for sure.
they're like the hood Asian. Like they are.
They're the black Asian.
No,
is that what you're saying?
No, they're just hood. They're just hood. Like no, I'm not describing a race to it. It's just they're just thorough. Like you know, like they're like motherfucker. I'll cut you. You know, same as like Vietnamese women too. Like they got a little. You know,
Vietnamese women are scary though.
They got fire under their. You know.
Vietnamese women are scary. They're descendants of the Viet Cong, man. I mean, come on. They just pop up out of nowhere. You got to be careful with Vietnamese women. They'll be under your bed and you won't even know it. Oh, we've been live streaming for like a half hour. Can we
Yeah.
kill the live stream, Anthony? Sorry, guys, you don't get to watch the rest of the show now. Sorry.
Oh.
Well, you got to watch it on YouTube and all that good stuff. It's right here above the TV. Yeah. No, yeah. I have a thing. I don't date white women.
Oh really?
No, I
How
haven't
come?
dated a white girl. Well, my ex was a white girl, but I just don't. I'm not typically into white girls.
Gotcha.
I don't know why.
I'm into all types, and I try to like discuss it in a way that doesn't fetishize any one particular group of people, because that's the pitfall that we have as if we talk about, oh, we really like this type of woman, this race of, you know, like
Right.
you have to make sure it's appreciation and uplifting, and not like, you know, sort of
That's kind of
like
a thing, though.
fetishize them. That's what you know.
But do you feel like that's something that gets put off on only white guys? Because
No, it's for everyone. I think.
You think
if you have
so?
yeah, if you have a type. I mean, I've seen content before with people, you know, black and Asian, or you know, Asian and white people, like you know.
right. Yeah, but I feel like when it's a white, especially the yellow fever thing, like a white guy who likes Asian girls.
Oh yeah,
That's looked at as like the worst of all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything can be made into look bad. How you say it. I mean, especially
yellow fever is a pretty bad term to use for that.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, it's a pretty bad term.
It's a pretty bad term, but we didn't make it up.
Right.
Asian people say, "Oh, you have yellow fever."
Yeah.
I dated an Asian girl one time. She was like, "How many Asian girls have you dated?" I was like, "Let's change the subject."
47.
Yeah, let's all of them. Let's change the subject right quick. I'm not trying to fall into that stereotype.
Well, it's like when does it become a thing where it's like, is it, say you were into Asian, like Asian woman, white, black, like how does it have to be back to back?
How many
make it a thing, like where it's like this is Kevin's thing now, like he's into Asian women. Like,
it has to be at least 60%.
Like if you dated back to back Asian women, would they say you have an Asian woman thing? Like
maybe. I feel like it should be a rule of numbers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like how many girlfriends have you had? 15. Okay, of those 15, how many were Asian?
Right.
9. All right, yeah, you
might have an Asian.
You have an Asian fetish
Asian thing, yeah.
I don't know. I just white girls expect a lot.
They do.
They expect a lot.
They do. They want the world.
So you're Jewish?
Yeah, Jewish.
Straight up Jewish all the way through?
I recently found out a few years ago because my grandfather was adopted that I'm part Irish, so that explains the sort of blue collary Jewness I have about me. Like I'm not like a nerdy like my yarmulke fell off kind of Jew. Like I'm like a New York like how the fuck you doing? Like I'll still punch you in the face kind of Jew.
So yeah, wow.
I know it's a weird way to frame it. Like
I'm not a nerdy Jew.
No, because a lot of Jewish people like really irritate me. Like all the Hasidic Jews back in New York who you've been reading in Brooklyn. Like they had the school. Like they hate Jews like me. Like they don't think we exist. Like they think they look down on us because we don't.
I swear to God, I thought you were Italian.
Oh, I get that a lot. But Italians and Jews are very similar. Like we both have overbearing mothers who love to feed us and shit, and all the things that come with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a very New York thing too, like mothers and like helicopter moms.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially in New York.
Yeah.
My mom was just like, please get the fuck away from me.
Oh really?
Yeah. My mom. I mean, my mom's dope. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Like she raised me right, but she's not that mom that's like, do you got a jacket?
We're getting into the underlying psychology of Kevin Mack.
Yeah.
Remember, I used to be a therapist, so tell me more about your mother.
Okay, let's see.
I'm just joking.
It's not my mom. It's my daddy. I've never met him. I have a complex where I have abandonment issues.
Don't we all? Yeah.
What's your dad do?
He's a psychoanalyst.
God damn, dude,
he does like the old style like Freudian stuff. So like. Growing up where I'd be like, tell a dream, like he does dream analysis and stuff. I'd be like, Dad, I had a dream about this, and this happened. Like, what does it mean? He's like, well, this means that you want to kill me and have sex with your mother. Like, there's always like Oedipus Rex, like kind of stuff, Like, all right, Dad, stop analyzing my dreams. I don't want to hear it no fucking more.
What does your mom do?
She works as the head of, she does the administrative side of things at psychological services at Columbia University.
Bro, so you literally have been psychoanalyzed your entire life.
Yeah, I come from growing up, my parents never laid a finger on me. It was always long talks, and there were times where I'm like, "Please just fucking hit me." Instead of, I don't want to sit here for another 2 hours getting Jewish guilt tripped into fucking like seeing your point. Like, can't you just hit me like other parents do? Like,
dude, my friend Johnny. So that's the exact opposite of the way that I was raised.
Okay,
like my mom put the fear of God into me.
She hit you with the belt?
Oh, dude, whatever she could find, whatever was handy when I fucked up, which was often. Like she was quick with a belt or a stick or a switch pan or whatever.
Yeah.
And my best friend Johnny, who's also Jewish, by the way.
Shout out to Johnny.
Shout out to Johnny. Johnny K. He's got 2 kids, and he parents very much like it sounds like your parents did.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go to his house and his kid will be freaking out, and he'll like pull his kid aside and he'll be like, "Listen, I understand that you're upset right now.
I hit that kid,
but I need you to use your words and tell me what it is." And I'm just like, "Can you punch that kid in the face, please?"
I mean, I'm not a parent, but I feel like a big problem, especially my friends who are like my age, where they're new parents. I feel like they're just making their kids super soft. They don't want to ever see them fail. They don't want to ever let them learn on their own. They want a helicopter, basically, like you said. And I think it's going to, that's why they joke at this new generation, Generation Z, like how they're just so entitled and, you know, expect to always be, you know, patted on the head and told, you're doing a good job. Like, you know.
It's almost like the kids run the house in situations like that, where it's like they scream and then the parents are like, okay, well, let's just talk about why you're upset. And then they like give them something and I'm just like, or timeouts. When I go to, dude, I don't know if you're like me, but if I go out to a store and there's a kid screaming and the mom is just like completely ignoring it, like she'll be pushing the cart and the kid's screaming at the top of their lungs and the mom just walks like nothing's going on.
Right.
I want to look at her and be like, dude, I understand that this doesn't affect you apparently, but do you not realize you're surrounded by people that don't want to hear this shit?
Right.
Or like on a plane.
Oh, I've gotten into plenty of fights at the movie theater when someone brings their baby in the theater.
Oh, dude, that's so
I'm like, take your baby outside. Don't want to hear that bullshit. and like, shut the hell up. You know, I'm like, why'd you bring your baby to like Hellraiser, like, or like some wild ass movie? I'm like, you bugging, like.
Yeah, right, bro. You were at Frozen.
Yeah,
you were at Frozen.
Nah, I wasn't Frozen.
Sure.
It was a total adult movie. Just like I get annoyed.
You go to adult movies where there's kids?
Well, they bring their kids into the R-rated movies sometimes.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. There's a difference between adult and R-rated, bro.
Oh, no, nothing like that. No porno theaters.
You go to the old jerk, the old jerk photos?
The window where the thing comes up.
Drop a quarter in.
Drop a quarter.
The fucking 42-year-old.
The good old days. The good old days.
I used to work at a one of those.
Really? At a jerk-off spot?
Yeah.
Did you have to clean the stalls and everything?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I
did.
did.
You really?
Yeah, I worked at.
When you first moved to LA?
It was this place called Dream Theater. It was in
Oh,
no, it was in Detroit. It was in Detroit.
Good Lord.
It was this place called Dream Theater, and it was a peep show. And I'd have
So
to.
it was a live girl. It was a girl.
Yeah, you went in, you gave them whatever it is,
Right,
10, 20
right,
bucks,
right.
and they give you these tokens.
Right.
And
You don't have to explain it to me. I know how it works.
Oh yeah, you know all about it.
I'm a scumbag.
Yeah, yeah,
I know how this
you're a
shit-
fucking
We're
dirtbag.
explaining to the audience. Like, this is
So,
what-
anyways, Jacob knows exactly what I'm
I know,
talking
yeah,
about. So you give them like 10 or 20 bucks, you get these tokens that were like basically, I think it was like $1 a token or something.
Right.
And you drop it in the slot, and the wall would like a
Yeah,
shade would
like
come
you see in
up.
the movies. Yeah.
Yeah. And there'd be a girl there like diddling herself or
Right.
whatever. And then after a minute, it would drop back down. You'd have to put another token in. But yeah, my job, I'd have to go in and squeegee the windows.
Oh, God, that is so gross, bro. I mean, I've had some shitty jobs, but not some cummy jobs. Like
You've never felt so bad about your life until you go.
I mean,
in
was
and
that like your rock
squeege
bottom?
jizz
Like,
off a window?
where were you in life when you were working this
I
job?
was like, I was only like 19.
Oh,
This was just before I moved to New York.
so that was what motivated you to making a showbiz. Like,
Yeah, I was like,
I'm not gonna be cleaning jizz anymore. I'm gonna make it in this town.
well, I was like, oh, I'm either going to go to New York and do theater, or I'm going to go to New York and work in like a gay peep house and just be the guy behind the glass so I don't have to clean it.
The original OnlyFans, before, old school OnlyFans over here.
I always wondered how much the like girls in the peep window, how much of that percentage they made. I never found out.
I can't imagine that much, and I can't imagine guys go through. I mean, you're saying it's a minute per token. I only need about 3 minutes to make that happen.
You need 3 tokens.
Maybe three max. 2. Maybe I get it done in 2. I don't know.
Good old 3 token Berger over here.
Yeah, it depends how much I've been built up. You know, if she makes eye contact with me, then I'll go quicker.
Dude, I can't. If a girl makes eye contact with me, I can't.
What?
I can't.
What do you mean when you're having sex?
Dude, I can't.
Are you
do it.
serious?
I can't.
That's
do
the
it.
weirdest shit. I love eye contact.
I can't do
See,
it.
I'm the opposite. I need eye contact.
I feel like I'm being judged.
No, I want to look into a girl's soul, like while it's happening. Like I want to, like I don't know what it is. It's some sick, twisted, perverted.
You
shit.
know, like when dudes like when girls look at them when they get a blowjob.
Yeah, I love when a girl looks at me.
I hate
Really?
it, dude. I hate
What?
it.
Are you ashamed of yourself? or
No,
something?
dude. I have this weird complex where I feel like the girl is judging me. Like like I make a weird face or
How
like,
could she be judged? But she's blowing you. Like,
I
like
don't
clearly,
know.
like she's not judging you that much. If she judged you that much, she wouldn't be blowing
Bro,
you.
we're not on your fucking psych couch right now. I'm just telling you
All right.
my experience.
All right, go on.
Dude, you know what's funny is you're upset about how your dad parented you, and you're doing it to me right now.
True. Yeah.
You're like, why do you feel this way, Kevin?
Yeah,
What is it about?
I'm just trying to make sure the audience, the major wave audience, gets a deeper look in Kevin Mack's psyche. That's all.
You're like, Kevin, just blast in her mouth and you'll feel better.
Yeah. Nah, I need girl. I love the eye contact. You know, I want to feel like I'm connected with that person.
I feel like it's a dominance thing, maybe the eye contact thing. I think maybe that's what it is. Like, I feel like I'm like dominant, like forcing. You know what I mean? Maybe that's it. I don't know, dude.
To each his own.
Maybe I'm just not comfortable with the way I look from that angle.
Have you taken iPhone pictures from that angle?
I should,
so you can judge yourself. Like,
no, because I always take them down because I don't want to get my face.
Or you give the girl like a scorecard at the end of it, like rate me on the following qualities, like girth and hair, and
it's like one of those questionnaires that you get at like Applebee's.
Yeah.
How was your service?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
was your blowjob experience enjoyable? Like,
Did you enjoy your appetizer?
Yeah, your appetizer. Did you like the dessert at the end? Did you like the cream?
Do you do relationships?
As far as dating and stuff?
Yeah, like have you?
Yeah,
When's the last time you had a girlfriend?
Been a while.
Yeah?
At least a year and some change. Like, yeah. Most of my stuff has been casual for the last couple of years, just because it's hard in show business to maintain like a true traditional relationship. And
since you've grown a following, have you found it hard to have genuine experiences with girls, or do you just feel like a lot of them are trying to like clout chase?
It's a mix of both, I would say. I mean, I'm not stupid. Like, there's a lot of girls that I've been with that I know I wouldn't have had a shot unless I was famous or like the person I am. And there definitely are girls I've come across that, you know, they love Jacob Berger, actor. They don't really care about me as a person. They really just try and get some clout up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's
Has
tough.
that happened recently?
Not recently, but you know, it's happened before in the past. Or like a girl that I'll be talking to, and then I kind of tell what she's saying, and it kind of implies to me that she's really just trying to get a come up off of me.
Yeah. That happens. It happens with me.
Yeah.
It's like they're usually pretty transparent, even though they're trying not to be. Mm-hmm. They'll be like you'll send them a message or whatever, and you'll be like, "Yo, we should hang out sometime, like get together, grab a coffee." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we should, and maybe we could shoot some content." And you're like, "Oh, yeah, I get it.
Right.
I get where you're going with this."
Yeah, and you know, being a funny person, you know, you just gotta always be working.
Just spin it.
Yeah, just spin it as you can. But at the end of the day, like, relationship isn't the most important thing to me right now in my life. Like my career and my personal happiness. Like, I've never been the type that because I have friends. I'm sure you got friends like this too, who are those constantly in relationships. Like they go from one relationship to the next.
Facts.
They don't feel comfortable being single or being on their own. Me, I can have a great day, literally talking to no one and entertaining myself, and I don't feel this overwhelming need. Like the time is ticking. Like you know, as men, like. I could be dating into my 50s, 60s. Like I'll be all right. Like, you know.
Yeah. You could have a 20. You could be 60 and have a 2-year-old.
And it's hard, especially because like in our business, we connect with so many beautiful women like on a given day, and it's like it's hard to like want to commit to one.
So many options.
Yeah, that's the thing. Society is told like that's why I wish like dating apps and this internet sometimes didn't exist, because I feel like it made relationships not as important as they used to be. Like,
the problem was like in the past, before social media, before the internet,
before Tinder,
before the internet, really, it made sense to be in committed relationships or to get married because you had a finite reach to access people in your general area.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like your town or your county or what have you. You only knew a certain amount of people. You only had access to a certain amount of people.
Right.
So you would find somebody that was the most compatible for you.
Yeah.
And you would settle down with that person because you don't want to be with some chick that everybody in the county's been with. Like, you know, you go down to the general store and you're like, "Hey, Dave, I fucked your wife 2 years ago." Like that type of thing.
I honestly don't care about that kind of thing. How many girls?
I really don't care.
Once you hit a certain age, I feel like you don't really care anymore.
No, I don't really care. But back then, it was like a thing.
Yeah, when you're younger, you're like, "Ooh, like so." Like,
I was like, you don't have sex till you get married and all that shit.
I mean, I got friends that get married to girls from the neighborhood that I know a bunch of dudes ran through. through. And
Yeah.
they still get and they get married knowing this. Like, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
I guess you can turn hoes into housewife. You know?
That's I don't know, not me. But like now you have access to the world,
Yeah.
and you have. I mean, the problem is that you constantly feel like you have the ability to upgrade, and you can also you can have somebody great, and
Yeah.
then somebody DMs you from like Italy, and she's a supermodel, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh well, she might,
Right.
maybe she's better
Yeah.
than what I have. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it sucks because it takes away the ability to really connect with people, like
Oh,
to
absolutely.
really connect with a single person, because you constantly have other options.
Yeah. I mean, think about just dating in general. Like, even when you're out on dates, like, both of you are taking out your phone constantly and checking it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like you're not there with people anymore. It sucks that we don't really, like, fully tuned into someone. It's very rare I've been on a date where the girl is fully tuned into me or me fully into her.
I've gotten to the
Anytime.
point now where, like, if I go out with friends or if I go out on a date or what have you, I put my phone on airplane mode and I don't touch it.
That's nice of
I
you.
try to respect the time. I feel like
You
you,
hear that,
have
lady?
to be
You hear
present.
that, ladies? Kevin Mack is a listener. He wants to pay attention to you.
Yeah, and I also don't want you to see how many texts I'm getting from other women.
That as well. You son of a bitch. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Why is your phone always face down? Shut up, bitch, and eat your taco.
It's because I want to be tuned into you.
Yeah, I care.
That's a good one.
I care about you, baby. Everything is about you. I am not talking to any other girls.
Hilarious.
All right, let's get into some current events, Anthony. Anthony, how are you doing today, by the way?
I'm good.
Yeah, Gage isn't here today because he got into a car accident.
That's correct. This is number 3 for him
He said 3 car accidents?
since moving under a year. Yeah.
Jesus. Maybe. Well, here's the thing: if he is the only constant factor in these accidents, maybe it's him.
But the thing is, he keeps getting hit. He's never the hit-e,
Yeah.
or he is the hit-e.
Jesus, Jacob, you breathe so loud.
I'm fat and overweight, and I'm a smoker. So I'll breathe to the side.
I felt like Darth Vader was listening into our conversation.
Sorry, I'll tune my head.
I don't know. Maybe it's because Gage is a ginger and people just always want to hit gingers.
Yeah,
They
that's
have no
true.
soul.
Yeah, gingers are demons.
They're demon
All right, what do we got on the old current events? Just because it's 2020, bring on the locusts. Oh, what? Now it's locusts? So we've got...
From murder hornets to murder locusts.
God damn it, dude. I feel like God is just like letting us know this is the end.
Right, he's sending out the sodomy horses next.
Yeah, it's like
probably, you know.
every month there's something. Jesus Christ.
Where
dude,
is
look
the
at
middle?
that.
Is this in Egypt too?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That looks like a sandstorm.
Oh, this is Iran.
Oh, Iran.
Same thing.
That's not a sand. Those are ball bugs. Those aren't sand. That's not a sandstorm.
I know. I'm saying it looks like a sandstorm.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Those things are big as hell.
Bro, I would lose my mind. I hate bugs so much.
Well, I was in Vegas in March when they had the grasshopper infestation where they were everywhere. You were
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that was wild too.
So in Michigan, we have this thing every year called the silverfish swarm, and it's like all these. You remember silverfish?
I get them at my place. Still.
Yeah, they're like these bugs that have these giant wings, but billions of them. Like you pull into a gas station and they completely cover the entire gas station. You can't even see the gas station, and as you drive, you just hear pop 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 pop
Yeah,
pop
it's
pop pop
crunchy,
pop.
crunch,
It's
crunch,
fucking
crunch,
insane. Locust, yep, silverfish. There you go. Oh no, those aren't it.
Yeah.
That's not
These
what
are the
I
ones
meant.
I'm talking about.
That's not what I meant.
The bug?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not what I
Why are
was
they
talking
called
about.
fish,
What the
though?
fuck are they called? They're called I don't know. No, not damselflies. I don't know.
I think that is.
Is it damselflies? Everybody in Michigan knows what I'm talking about. Nobody else knows what I'm talking about. But they come in off of the Great Lakes and they're just everywhere.
Rust Belt stuff.
Oh, speaking of
Speaking
Michigan, Trump threatens to withhold Michigan funding after state's decision to mail absentee ballot applications. Wow. Dude, the only reason Trump won the election was because of Michigan. He does realize that, right?
Well, he's trying to stop because, obviously this election coming up, it's like people aren't going to want to go out in person. So the Republicans are doing everything in their power to prevent mail-in voting go forward because they know they would probably lose if it was mailing it in.
Yeah, because most of those ballots will somehow go missing somehow.
Well, it's also funny because in Congress, I think they just voted that they can do remote voting. So it's like, oh, so you can do remote voting for Congress, but not the average American citizen. Like,
Yeah, that seems strange to me.
we shouldn't be putting roadblocks to people being able to vote.
Well, the strange thing is that it doesn't seem like elections are decided by the people anymore. It seems like they're decided by superdelegates. Like that's why Trump won. He won through superdelegates.
Well,
He didn't win the popular vote.
Well, no, you're referring that he won delegates. Super delegates is a term for that's on the Democratic side. That Republicans don't have super delegates.
What was it? There were
No, you just mean delegate like the electoral college.
Right.
That's not called super delegates. The
I thought those were super
No,
delegates.
super delegates is some bullshit that Democrats have that supersedes. So like you get awarded your delegates through voting and shit like that. But then there's just like 700 of them that are super delegates. There are people who are just grandfathered in as delegates, and they hypothetically could move during the convention, vote for someone else instead of the presumptive
regardless
nominee.
of who gets voted in.
The
They can
presumptive nominee. They can help shift things. Like
they
it's
can
got-
basically veto the vote.
Yeah, in a way, and I've heard whispers about that with Joe Biden because I think he's a horrible candidate for the Dems to have. He's just not inspirational at all. I was a Bernie guy, so they know how that shit goes.
Bernie, it seems like Bernie gets fucked every election.
Every time.
He does. I think he could have honestly beat Hillary, and I think he would definitely beat Trump. But if he had, I think the establishment threw everything possible at him to stop his movement. But at the end of the day, I think history's going to look kindly on Bernie because he helped push the conversation more left, as far as universal health care,
Right.
Holding the billionaires accountable. He helped push that more into mainstream. So at the end of the day, I think his legacy will be looked kindly upon, and people will forget the whole trying to call him a communist and socialist and all this sort of stuff. But I think that will fade as time goes on, and
I agree.
people will just remember the good things about him.
I agree. I think I don't. Do you think Biden has a chance to take down Trump in the election?
No,
I don't.
No
either.
way.
absolutely not.
I don't either.
Absolutely not. He's not even fully there, honestly.
Yeah, he's
And
got some serious Alzheimer's kicking in right now.
We can't say for certain, but he definitely flubs a lot of shit that just doesn't look good. And also, where has his leadership been during this whole thing? I barely see him come and speak on the media.
Well, he also I've never seen anybody who takes quotes that are just generally known by the population and completely fucks them up every time. It's like George Bush,
Yeah,
where
with
he's like, "Fool me
once,
once,
yeah.
shame on you.
won't
Fool me
again."
twice, well, you won't fool me again."
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Trump's probably just gonna tell people nah, election's canceled. We're just gonna rock with me for a little, on some FDR shit. We gotta make sure the boat is.
I feel like if Trump lost, he just wouldn't leave the White House. He would just stay.
I think he would. I think he probably wants to be done with all this shit. Because he definitely 100% didn't plan on becoming president.
Does Melania stay with him after the presidency? You think?
Yeah, of
You
course.
think so?
Yeah, she's not gonna fuck up her money.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I mean, she was with him before the presidency.
When all that shit happened with the porn star,
Yeah.
he had to redo his prenup with her.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
could redo a prenup? I didn't even
Yeah,
know
he
that.
had to redo his prenup to offer her more money to stay with him.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know.
No, but I think
man.
he just ran for president because he just wanted to get some. I think it was a tactic to get more money for the
Oh,
apprentice.
he
and
definitely
stuff.
didn't think he was going to win.
No, no one did.
No.
That's why anything happens. That's why I just don't see. I think the American people are easily manipulated. They'll just want. They rather the devil they know than the devil they don't.
You know when I knew Trump was going to win was when they did the debate, and he just spent the entire time just calling people random names that he had made up.
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe, Lion Hillary, and all this shit. I was like, oh, he's going to win. Because that's all our country is just a bunch of people
Yeah.
who just talk shit.
Republicans are great at winning elections, not so great at running the actual country.
Yeah.
But, they're great at winning, and that's the thing.
Facts.
Dems are I'm a progressive liberal in my views, but and I say this with all Democrats for the most part are pussy. The politicians, they don't stand up for progressive values in any sort of way. They just are almost corporatists. Like a lot of politicians are pretty much 99% the same, except for a few social things.
Yeah,
you know?
for the most part. I mean, they're all crooks, man.
Yeah.
They're all crooks. We're all screwed.
Yeah.
You know what? Jacob Berger for president, 2024.
Oh, I'm not ready for that. I got too many skeletons in my closet to run for president.
You think so? You don't think you'd ever be president?
I think people would come out the woodworks like, he did this, he did that. Not anything bad. Nothing like horrible, just for the record. Like nothing,
Sure.
nothing Harvey Weinstein-ish or anything. But
It's going to be like a national coalition of thick girls against Jacob Berger.
well, that's my biggest nightmare is like one day, like 10 years down the road, like you know, a girl I didn't hook up was like, oh, he made me do this sketch that I didn't like. Da, da, da. Like, I always make sure the girls are very comfortable when we shoot together. It's like, I never would make a girl do anything she isn't comfortable with, like, on camera.
He
like,
forced me to look him in the eyes while he fucked me. Every time I turned away, he grabbed my face and said, look at me.
Look at me.
I want to stare into your soul.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's end it on that.
Yeah, let's end it on that. Oh, it's a good place to end it. I got to get back to
Yeah, we
the
got to get
valley-
you back to North
valley.
Hollywood.
Yes, sir.
Tell them where they can find you, Jacob.
You can find me at jacobbergeractor.com. Jacob Berger Actor on Instagram. Same on TikTok, YouTube. Catch me on June 3rd on In the Cut on Bounce TV. And yeah, appreciate all y'all showing me love. I appreciate you, Kevin, for having me on the podcast. I feel like this was a lot of fun. I had a good time, you know. And
Shooting the shit.
looking forward to being hopefully back some other next season. You guys do seasons or?
I don't know what we're doing.
Okay, yeah, just
I
playing
really
it by
don't
ear.
know. I don't know.
It certainly felt that way when I was sitting here.
Anthony doesn't
All right,
tell
cool.
me anything.
Yeah.
That's Jacob Berger, not Berger Bur.
Yes, correct. No Jewish person spells it with a U.
That's right, because he's Jewish. You know where to find us. Major Ways Podcast on Instagram. Kevin Mack on Instagram. Kyle Massey on Instagram, even though he's never here.
Shout out to Kyle.
Shout out to Kyle. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and do so on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all that good stuff. Make sure that you guys pay attention because we got swag coming soon. Get ready for merch. And also, make sure you check out Damn Good Candle Company to get the Kevin Mack signature scent of Mac and Sheets. Major Ways, we